How you going, guys? Slightly different angle today. Just wanted to mix things up for my own sake, really. But hopefully you appreciate it too. Today I'm going to be doing some pedal steel licks. I've actually been thinking about this for a while. And then it just popped up the other day on my Patreon Discord. Some of the guys were talking about it. I didn't say anything, but I thought, yes, I like pedal steel licks. I can teach some of those. I've done a little bit of work on that. Done a little bit of work on a lot of things, and that being one of them. So I did all those licks in the key of A. I'm going to show you the positions in which we can use them in. And if you hang around at the very end of the video, I'll show you how we can move them into different keys or play them over different chords. It's quite simple, actually. The licks themselves are a little bit tricky, but moving them once you've got them is easy. So stick around for that. And before I get into the lesson, I actually have started a podcast amongst all the things I'm doing. I wanted to do that as well. I thought there's a community growing. The Patreon has over 130 members now. Check it out. The transcription for this lesson will be there if you'd like to join. But as always, part of my contribution to the world is that you can learn this by just following along. But yes, check out my podcast. There's two now. The first one was with Al Nico, Death Ray Cat, who has a great YouTube channel. The second one was with a psychobilly musician from Finland named Panu Della Rocca. It's really good fun, and I'm talking about all the kind of stuff that we're interested in, you're interested in, I'm interested in. I can't talk properly. Let's get on with the guitar lesson. So the first one that I did uses, I want you to imagine an A major, just like that, just like the chord up here. And all I'm doing is I'm hitting the 4th and 3rd string, which I'm delicately fretting with my 2nd and 3rd finger. I put my 1st finger on the 13th fret, and I bend that note up into the 14th fret. Warning, if you do have a whammy bar, this is actually pretty challenging because as you pull on that spring and that little lack of tension, I should say, or the balance tension there will give in a little bit, and it fights you. So it is challenging, but you can make it work. So as you strum through, as I hit the 2nd string, I want to pull down very firmly with my 1st finger. Add a little bit of pressure on the 4th and 3rd string, sort of to anchor yourself a little bit, but we want to keep these steady, okay? So that's the first one. What I did there, I kind of cut it off with my fingers, and I jumped to the 2nd position to try and string it together as a lick. You don't have to do that, I just did that for fun. So then the second one I play, I want you to think of an A major pentatonic run. Okay, so we've got the 1st degree of an A here, 3rd degree of an A here, and the 5th there. Like an A major arpeggio might be a better way to put it. So I pick these two, then I bend from the 12th fret, and what I'm doing is I'm taking the B here and I'm bending it to the pitch of a C sharp, and I'm making that into a lick. You don't have to play the licks the way I play them, you can do whatever you like. Okay, and then what I did, I actually held these two notes and played the 11th fret on the 3rd string, and then I play the 9th fret on the 3rd string, and I pull my 2nd finger back to that note there to get that chordal kind of sound. Okay, you can even hit all three. So I'm using my fingers. Okay, I'm using the pick. It's the Black Mountain pick. Like I mentioned in a recent video, I've become a little bit attached to them. But you can use any kind of thumb pick, or you might hybrid pick it. Just like that. So what I'm showing you here is that you can kind of expand off that initial idea into other parts of the scale. Okay, in this case A, or A major pentatonic. Get that sound. From here, we go into an A position from here. So I want you to think of this A bar chord. And again, I'm bending on the 3rd. So I really focused on bending into 3rds for this particular lesson. Okay, you can actually do it from any tone. I'll talk briefly about that at the end as well. So I'm holding the 5th fret here with my pinky and on these two strings. And I'm bending from the B into the C sharp. So I'm getting my 2nd to go up to a major 3rd. Then I let it down, play the A natural, just like that. And then I finished with, again, same position, but I'm coming from behind it with lower notes and pulling the note on the third string into a C sharp again. It's hard work. It's hard to do it slow. And you can hear the pitch dropping actually. Partially the delay pedal, partially the Bigsby and the fighting against me, but that's why Tellies are good. That's why people really like Telecasters for this stuff. But, like I said, we're making it work. Alright, so they're the three positions. You'll notice how much they're based around chords. Okay, all based around chords. So, we had an A here. Yes, this was kind of an arpeggio. But that's still a chord. It's very similar position anyway to the original one. We can play an A major like this as well. That's all chordal. So you'll notice that the bending is either from the highest string that I'm playing or the lowest. So in this case it's the lowest because it gives me room to bend that way. And and then in this case here it's on the highest string that I'm playing of the group of 3 because I'm pulling away. So there's some principles that you can apply to any kind of pedal steel chordal type bend that you would like to do. Now, the other thing that we want to keep in mind is we can bend into other tones. So let's say I want to play an A major like this, but I want to bend into the 5th degree. Well, I can find that here. So I might... Less common, definitely less common, but it does happen. And you could be a lot more creative than me. I've kept it pretty straightforward with these. Let's say we wanted to bend into the root note. Okay, I'm making this up on the fly, but we'll see how we go. So that's challenging. I find that really hard. I've probably picked a bad example. Let's try another one. So let's say we want to do this. Yeah, that's a good one. So here's another version of A. What I'm going to do, I'm going to actually play the 3rd, the C sharp here, the E here. I'm really making this up on the fly. I haven't seen these specifically, but I always like to throw out these options and say, you can go away and do whatever you like. Here's a principle, go do something new. There's nothing new in these licks that I'm showing you. They've all been done before. Okay, so nothing original. I like to do things original, so I like to share those options with you as well. The last thing I wanted to talk about was actually doing them as different chords. So let's say we wanted to play an A blues, we would do something like this. Okay, sorry, I should do this one. The ones that I showed you. So we did the A from here, like that. And then a D chord, think of a D like this. Just how we did the A like that. I'm going to bend into that 3rd there. So here's the D. Going to go back to an A, but this time we'll do it from here. Do a bit of a lick off it if you like. And then, why don't we jump all the way up here and do our E chord here, okay? All you have to do is establish where the root note in each of the licks is, and then you just move that root note. So for example, when I played the A from here, the root note was there. Wherever I play that root note, we're going to get that chord. So what I mean by that is if we play an E here in that, that's the E lick, D lick, okay? And then back to an A, so we do that. And in this scenario here, for example, the A was at the top, so A lick, D lick, E lick. We could do an A lick all the way up here because that's an A. So we and then for this one, the first one was the root note. So I could easily just go, okay, well that's E, so this is going to be the E one. D. I should have done it the other way around. I know I keep mixing that up, but these concepts aren't super complicated. Hopefully you're following that and you got something out of it. The only other thing I would say, and this one's a little shout out to Mitch Yokelson actually. I cannot find my volume pedal, but he mentioned he had an old volume pedal and was wondering about some ideas on how to use it. These are great for with a volume pedal. So I can't seem to locate mine, but check this out. If we had a volume pedal, we'd do something like this. So that's a really fun little thing you can do. A lot easier with a volume pedal, so you don't have to use your finger to try and roll the volume knob like that. Although it's not too inconvenient to do on a Gretsch, that volume knob's in a great spot. Just like what Setzer does, which is really cool. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Check out the transcription if you need it, the tabs, etc. They'll be on the Patreon. Yeah, hope you enjoyed. Check out the podcast. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.